This is the Mobile App Minute, a weekly look at how to market your mobile app in a noisy world. Here are your hosts, Rob Woodbridge and Peggy Ann Soles.
Hello, everybody, and welcome. This is the Mobile App Minute. My name is Rob Woodbridge from Untether.tv.
And I'm Peggy Ann Saltz at Mobile Groove.
We're going to be talking about a serious topic today, Peggy, that you have done some insane research for. As a serious app developer and appreneur out there, you need to do more than make and market a great app. That is a given. If you don't understand that by now, just shut this down and go somewhere else. You need to do more than that. You also need to know, you also need to keep your eye on the prize at all times, and this means being smart about your users, your app rivals, the wider competitive landscape, and new channels and opportunities that will elevate your app business. Analytics in all its forms is essential to making smart business decisions, which is why the market has seen an explosion in the number of app analytics tools and packages available to app developers to attribute the source of downloads and understand the user journey, which is so very important. We've also seen some very interesting activity and consolidation at the other end of the spectrum, where players in App Store analytics platforms are growing from strength to strength, with Yahoo snapping up Flurry and App Annie joining forces with Distimo. So analytics is a must to understand the market at all levels. Peggy, what are some of the options for app developers out there?
Well, it is an amazing market, and you have to keep your eye on it. That's sort of the good news and bad news. There's a lot happening, but in a word, you have to keep your eye on a lot too. So, it's analytics every step of the way. I would say every step of your user journey. There are numbers that you have to be understanding, gathering, grasping for your business. As we, take a look around, it starts with something as simple as just tracking the app journey. So it's the idea of, which sources gave me the best users, and knowing that, investing in those sources, investing in campaigns that target those sources, right? So, and in the list you've just showed, courtesy of the great people over at Moby Affiliates, it's a great place to start, but it's also a list from 2013, which means that it's a great place to start, but you have to keep watching the market. There's just an amazing number of app analytics packages and tools on the market, some free, some other. You just have to make certain that you're getting the data from your app that you need every step of the way. And I want to stress that even if you don't buy into some of the packages out there, check out the blogs. I know I do, because blogs like, for example, Tune, which is mobile app tracking, great blog, gives great tips and tricks for your app for free. Follow those and follow those developments, because these are the app analytics you're going to be needing, as I said, every step of the journey. And the more you have, the better it is.
I also look at Flurry as well, and I think that they have a great blog with insight. But most of that is around the app analytics. What about the App Store stuff?
Yeah, the App Store analytics actually extremely also, of course, very important. That tells you about how your app is doing in the marketplace. And of course, you need to know that, because understanding those metrics allows you to build your business. And it's the difference between fly or fail at the end of the day. So, you mentioned Flurry there, App Annie. I'm also an avid reader of those reports every single month. If you don't read them yourself, required reading, you really should. Again, but that gives you a deeper look at how your app is doing. And what I want to bring your attention to is a new find for me, a company that is looking at the market for your app. So it's the market conditions around your app rather than how your app is doing in the market. Now, what does that allow you to do? That allows you to understand, what are the countries I need to be targeting? What are the levels of app downloads in this category? So, for example, if I have an educational game and app download level is, say 7,500 a week, or rather a month, because it's a niche category, and I'm not getting that, then I don't really need to be doing it anymore, because I am working, it's a zero-sum game here. Every time I invest in it, I'm going to be losing, because I'm not doing what the rest of the market is doing. So I just want to bring your attention then to a company called Priori Data. Priori Data is a company based in Berlin that, like its name, is data-driven, as it should be. It's a mobile app market analytics company. It was founded in 2013, so it's a little bit young, but therefore, very fast on its feet. I love what it's doing, and I'm sure it's going to be a name that we all hear a lot more. So, in a nutshell, The company's platform enables its users to discover, track, and benchmark the performance of other apps out there. The in-depth analysis allows app devs insight into demand and supply trends. I think that's really key, trends. And this is really important because it saves app developers from developing in a vacuum. They know the market for their app before they even start. So in this sense, the platform allows you to quantify the potential for any apps and whether it's been launched or not, for that matter. And that, as I said, is unique to Priori's platform. So let me give you a bit of a tour here. And we see the tree map, and here is where it starts. Some categories are green, meaning that demand for apps in these categories is healthy and growing. So, for example, if you want to make an app that targets a blue ocean market, one of those markets that isn't overcrowded, then you can let Priori be your guide here to these opportunities. Priori data also shows which markets, which countries are the ones to target. And here I'm pointing to the breakdown here. The breakdown shows how much of a particular market is focused on, for example, top-tier apps, the ones that are listed in the App Store. So if we look at education, for example, that's an app category that is green and growing, right? And we see that long-tail apps, that's like indies, that's like all of us, right, Rob? They are accounting for 30.8% of app downloads in Portugal. For example. But then we look at the US and we see that long-tail apps are in fact 76.5% of all the apps downloaded in the US in this category. So if you connect the dots, you say to yourself, I have a long-tail education app, then my chances of success are probably far better in a market like the US. That's one where top listed apps do not dominate the addressable market and where long-tail apps like yours would have a better chance. So I want to go to the global snapshot here. And I get a far more granular view of the markets and where this category of app is having success. And even more importantly, and I think this is really key, I can see which app monetization models are popular. So here's some really important business intel that could potentially save app devs, I think, a bundle. Because if you look, for example, at the business model for education, right, we see that 40% of the apps actually have a paid model. But we see that only 10% of the apps downloaded are paid apps. So we've got a lot more app devs embracing the paid model, the wrong model, than the right one. And the message here is that, they have to look at freemium. So, I could go on, and that's the great thing about this, Rob. The visualization is like really fun. So it makes your work fun. It makes the work of sifting through the data really interesting. And you see a lot here. I see story ideas here, ideas for blogs about the markets and the market movement. But I just want to make the point that the data provides insights into a long list of factors here. But enough of that fun, right? Let's get back to the serious stuff. I just want to make the point that Priori's data provides insights into a long list of factors. And I want to read some of them off to you, okay? Because there's so much there. You're going to get just, it's mind-blowing when you go in there. So you have to figure out, where can you go? What can you do? So it's market data at a global, country, app category, and app publisher level. And on top of that, the data also provides insights around demand and supply trends. As I said, market structure, we saw that. Monthly average users, really key when you're doing your business plan, right? And also what your peers are doing, what your rivals are doing, and how well they are doing, and how well they are doing in each country. So there's just a massive amount of data to go through.
Oh, like Peggy, I've got a smile on my face this whole time because this kind of data, having it at your fingertips, is so important. And I see the platform is powered by analytics from over 2.5 million apps across both Google Play and Apple's App Store in more than 30 countries and expanding over to 50 countries this year. But what makes the data really impressive is that it is also free to developers that sign up. Free!
Yeah, isn't that magic word, right? Indies love that.
Oh, I love
free.
it. I love it too.
It's that magic word, and it's what I also love about this because I love it. It's even on the website, the concept that this is a fair trade, It's data for data, understanding that the more people who use it, the better the data gets for everyone. It's a great model. And as I wanted to say, it's also free to app developers right now. If you have an app, you sign up, you apply to sign, you apply. That doesn't take, app developers who don't have an app. You have to have an app live in the store and be able to contribute, to that collective data pool. And so, you go to the website, they're accepting applications from app companies that, as I said, have an app live. And all you need to do then is just connect up your App Store account as you do for any other company and, and start sharing that data and benefiting from the wealth of business intelligence as a result.
It's what's so great about this, aside from the fact that it's free. Did we say it's free? It's free. If you're a developer, it's free.
Yes, we said free a couple times. Yeah,
you're contributing to the greater good, to the knowledge that you will gain from this. So you put one app in and you get access to 2.5 million apps and analytics across both platforms. It's amazing. And we all know, why is that important? It's because data is power.
Absolutely. I mean, that is the reality now. For a lot of app developers, when I go to conferences, they're saying, well, we've been tracking the user journey. Absolutely, you need to do that. Absolutely, no question. You have to know what to do at each stage of the journey. You have to know how people are interacting with your apps, but you also need to know the market out there in the real world for your app. And this is the kind of data that you have to start watching in addition to everything else. So yes, it's a big job. So the point is, you can have access to a lot of business intelligence, and the visualization, as I showed you, means you do not have to hire an army of analysts to make sense of it, because there are a lot of app companies out there, particularly in Asia, where, that is their key to success. You have to respect that they hire more analysts than they do developers, actually. But if you don't have the resources to do that, how do you compete? You compete by fighting smart, and smart means good data. So a last point in my tour here is making the point that, yes, you have access to detailed revenue, rank, and download data for all the apps, every app in the marketplace. Right now, you can check out the downloads and rank for both publishers and apps. So if you go back to our tour and you search for apps in your category or examine, say, for example, a specific publisher like Rovio, you go in there, you can see that publisher, you can see what they're doing, you can therefore set a realistic benchmark for the downloads you should be getting based on this data. And as I said, currently you can add a specific app to your watch list. So if you look up in the corner, you see the watch list, and that's really important because that's where you can say, I'm watching these particular apps. These particular apps are my rivals or my idols or what have you, and you can watch them, add them to the list. And really key here, in the future, kicking off in November, Priori tells me they want to beef up this platform by adding revenue information, and this gives developers that access in the future. Right now it's on a monthly basis. In the future it will be on a daily basis. So again, lots of intelligence, lots of data, lots of ways to plan a business strategy that works and really does deliver.
So I think what we're trying to say here, the big message is that to app developers is sign up for the platform now so they can start benefiting from all this app intelligence right away, and then roll as they start to roll out some features as well.
Yeah, I would say it's absolutely check out this platform. Of course, there's lots of options out there. You need to choose what's right for your app. I think the main point here is that you have to have analytics. You have to watch analytics. You have to have it in your app and understand the market, because without it, you're just, you're driving blind, you're running your business blind. And here, the whole idea is if you don't have analytics, numbers, data, that's what decides the leaders from the also-rans. So you make the decision. Do you want to be at the top of the list or at the top of the heap?
Oh, amazing. So we should just send them to prioridata.com, prioridata.com if you're interested in this. Peggy, this has been amazing. Hopefully it's life-changing for some of the app developers. And did we say it's free? prioridata.com. Thank you, Peggy.
Thank you, Rob.
Don't forget to come back next week for our next episode.